Hey everyone. So hopefully this will work. I'm trying some new software that is streaming out over 5 destinations. So I'm not sure if it's going to go live on LinkedIn or not. But if it doesn't, then I'll share it. So I wanted to come on and just say to you guys, hopefully you're staying safe and staying indoors. So whether this is your morning, afternoon, or your evening, I want to send you much love. Some of the things that have been going on for me behind closed doors, when you want to not acknowledge and honor what's going on for other people, and we do, and we send blessings and love to everyone, but we also want to stay grounded in our own energy, and we also want to have something that's really positive and really focused online. There's a lot of people behind closed doors not knowing what to do, and I invite you guys to actually journal with me. So I will be journaling for the next 50 days because I am an earth angel on a mission. And so saying that out loud, for some of you will be like, an earth angel, what is that? Google it. And if you know me, you know that's my nature. I'm also an empath. So the energy around the world is very easy to get sucked into. So I wanted to bring a different energy. I wanted to bring my energy and share with you my journaling process. It's called the Soul Legacy Journal. I'm actually going through a book called The Miracle Morning. So I will be sharing about this book. So if you are at home and you're stuck at home and you don't know what to do, there's a wonderful book called The Miracle Morning. It's by Hal Elrod, and he shares 6 habits that will transform your life. And it truly has. So let me know if you have a book that's truly transformed your life. This is a really amazing book. I've gone through this book for about 2.5 years, something like that. And it inspired me to write my book. So as I write my book, I'll be sharing the journey along with you. So as you see on my screen, I want to share my journaling journey with you. So I decided to do a video journal purely because I have Erlen and dyslexia. So writing is just a pain for me, and writing over and over and over again, I kind of like to copy and paste things. So journaling is a really amazing practice to go within, especially in this time, to just be still and just to really focus. So I wanted to focus on my vision for 2020. There's a pandemic going on. There's lots of things going on in the media, but we are at home, and I'm inviting you to use that time wisely to move through it and to come out the other side of it and know that you haven't spent days, weeks, and months not doing very much, and just being really proud of yourself that you've come out the other side and you're doing something amazing. So let me share my screen with you. So this journaling journey began a while ago, and I wanted to document it, and I wanted to come online at 11:11 because I just think it's a really nice time. I used to play something called I Am Light, a song by Indiari at 11:11, and it's a really it's the gateway when you're going on your spiritual awakening journey. Many people see 11 and 11. So I wanted to share with you what I've been doing and how I plan to tithe my time, money, and energy on the Soul Legacy TV podcast and radio show. So if you haven't subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV podcast and radio show, I invite you to hang on, let me share this again. All right, do that. I took myself off the screen. So there's a link down below for you to accept this journaling challenge. I invite you to watch, read, or listen to something that is going to support your work-life balance, and record your journey, record any aha moments, record any synchronicities, any signs, any downloads, and share them with your family, share them with your loved ones, and do this practice solo or do it with your friends. I invite you to do it publicly if you want to do it publicly with me over the next 50 days. I feel like there's so much going on that it's really nice to come together and just support one another. And I have my journaling challenge as well. So I'm kind of walking my talk, right? And so together we set the intention for more contribution, freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. And we invite that into our lives on a daily basis. I think that's absolutely amazing. So if you're if you're watching me live or you're watching on replay, let me know, because I feel for light workers, there's a lot of workers, frontline workers, doing amazing jobs, and I feel like for us light workers to come together as a collective and just own our stuff and share our vision and just really shine our light and not hide in the dark and not be in fear. It's easy to get sucked into what is going on, and I'm not saying don't listen to what's going on, because I haven't watched the news or read the newspapers for like 18 years, and I've been checking online to see what's going on and seeing updates, and you can't really get away from it. It's on when you're on Facebook, it's telling you on there, it's got like a little tag. When you're on YouTube, it's got another tag. It's just there in your face, and so it's hard to then get away from it. So I invite you to use this opportunity and don't brush it off. Actually use this opportunity. So I will link to the post where you can tag your friends and actually go on this journaling journey with me. So The Miracle Morning, as I mentioned, this book. So if you don't have lots to do and you're like Netflix binging, I invite you to Audible binge. Go to Audible. You can get this book, The Miracle Morning, on Audible, and lots of other books. Obviously, you don't have to follow this book, but it's, again, the book by Hal Elrod, and he has what he calls savers in there. So the 6 habits that will transform your life are savers. This is the acronym. So that stands for silence, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, journaling. And that's what I've been doing today. And he has the version for, there was an image. He has a version for teachers. He has a version for entrepreneurs. He has a version for parents and families, network marketers, salespeople, college students, real estate agents, couples, writers, and millionaires. And I think that's really amazing. I'm going to have a sip of water. I've done my workout, the exercise. I've done that today. And he talks about silence. So that can be prayer or meditation. And so I did a meditation, a Vaspana, or some people say Vaspana, Vipassana. I think it's Vipassana meditation. I did that. I've actually created a playlist so I can go to it again tomorrow. And I took some notes about the Vaspana meditation. I can't say it again. And it's one of the purest meditations. I had one of my guests when I did the telechat show. She was saying, I'm going on a 10-day meditation retreat. I'm like, oh wow, a silent meditation retreat. And I was really intrigued. Obviously we can't do that now. So I actually had a look at a playlist, and I started today for the first time to do that meditation. And so again, it's one of the purest meditations. So this video from Relax24 on YouTube said, and she said that you observe your thoughts and the thoughts that are in your subconscious mind. If you don't observe your thoughts, then they kind of get tucked into your subconscious mind, and you kind of act out of that space. There's a lot going on, so there's going to be a lot of thoughts that are going into our subconscious mind. So you don't want to just ignore them. You want to see them and release them as you do this meditation. And so you sit in a relaxed position. I sat on my beanbag, and you can close your eyes, half close your eyes if you want to. I didn't. I've always tried to do meditation, and I've never been consistent at it. So this is me going all in, being trying to be consistent at it. This is day 1. We'll see when we get to day 50 if I have been. But this is one of the things that really taught me for the very first time that you don't have to stop your thoughts when you're meditating. Have you ever? Let me know if you meditate, and let me know if it's worked for you, if you've been consistent at it, because there's a lot of health benefits to meditation, as we know. And I've danced around the subject for a while, but the way that this lady explains it, and I'll leave the links down to the playlist as well for my morning routine. She talks about just being quiet and being still, obviously, but when your thoughts come up, not trying to shush them away, just acknowledging them, acknowledging that they're there, and then just releasing them, not trying to analyze them, not trying to think them through, just letting them go. And I found that really, really helpful, obviously, in these times. Right now, meditation and going within, you might not be on your mind, but I think to be still with the thoughts that you have on your mind and just release them, and being calm and centering yourself and breathing might just help you out. Just know, and it helped me out. I did 30 minutes today. Affirmations. I found an affirmation. I am well, all is well. So with the savers for the affirmations, I wanted to find something that would, I set intentions and speak gratitude as my affirmations, but I wanted to find an affirmation to share with you. And I am is a really powerful affirmation. And You Are Creators, that's another YouTube channel, have 200 plus affirmations for all is well. And so I wrote out some of these affirmations, and they talk about reprogramming your subconscious mind as well, because that's the operating system of what's going to play out in your life. And so this is a couple of the affirmations. It says, all is well in my world. I am safe. I am always in the right place at the right time. I'm always protected and safe. Everything always works out for me. Everything is working for my highest good. I'm always provided for. I'm always surrounded by the energy of peace. I love that one. All is well in my world. And it goes on. So if you want to have a look and find affirmations that fit you. I know that Louise Hay has been, if you don't know who Louise Hay is, she was the author of Heal Your Life, and created the publishing house Hay House and Hay House Radio. She did a lot of affirmations. So I learned about affirmations a few years ago. So it's nice to bring them into my journaling practice. It's nice to bring them into my world during this time, because I do have that vision and I do want to really focus and support myself. There's a lot of people, when they are doing really big things and they have a really big vision in the world, let me know what your vision is. Then there's certain aspects of life that go out of balance, and that's not what I wanted for me. So visualization. So I have a visualization practice inspired by Ask and It Is Given. So if I don't know if I have Ask It and It Is Given, some different versions of this book on Audible, which I'll be doing reviews for. But this is forwarded by Wayne Dyer, the late Wayne Dyer, by Esther and Jerry Hicks, The Teachings of Abraham. It's saying, learning to manifest your desires. And I believe it's on page 177, the prosperity game. That was an inspiration for me to create this game. So Esther and Jerry Hicks give you processes and practices, and in their prosperity game, they give you £1,000 or dollars, whatever, a day. They give you 1,000 the first day, then 2,000 and 3,000. And if you do it for a year, you spend $1 billion, I think it is. But say on day 50, it'd be 50,000. You'd be spending on day 70, it'd be 70,000. And that was just too much for me. It was a really great practice that I wanted to put into my own life. So I created something called the Soul Income Game, which I know that many of you have asked for and signed up for. So I appreciate that. So The Bank 50K in 50 Days is going to be supporting single parents in spiritual business, wanting work-life leverage. And so I have the rules of the game, this game. I love it. We'll be tithing 10%. Won't be paying any bills, and we won't be saving, and we'll just be spending this $1,000, but just $1,000 a day, and creating our vision board and being in vibrational match to an intentional life, I call it. So it was inspired by Asking Is Given, but I wanted to create something where I could put into practice while I was writing my book, and I could put at the core of my book, it's called the Intentional Living Codes. And the codes stand for the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. So that's contribution freedom. So it's contribution freedom frequency for me today, raising my vibration, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. And so just focusing on that during this time has allowed me to just keep going, even when the world looks a little bit crazy. So that's my visualization. I do a vision board and a mind movie, like a video montage on it. And today I'm still in my workout stuff. So I was doing my exercise. So that's E of the Savers. So I was doing the Insanity, the cardio challenge. I've done Insanity, this 60-day well, it's a 60-day challenge, the original Insanity, and this is 30 max, so it's 30 minutes a day, so it's less time. So exercising is obviously really important for our energy and our health, and because we're stuck at home and we're not able to go to the gym. I don't love the gym, or like we could go out for walks and have our exercise, but if you can't get out or what have you, then make sure you're doing your exercise. I wanted to create a life that was flexible when I travel, things that I can do online. So this is an online program. So a lot of people are struggling because they're not able to get out and do their exercise. So I just do mine online anyway. So that's leverage. So that hasn't changed for me. It's a tough exercise. It is actually insane. And reading. So I am reading The Miracle Morning again, the Miracle Morning book. It's an amazing book. It really is. They have a journal as well for The Miracle Morning. So if you can see that, it's a brilliant practice. But part of the reading for The Miracle Morning, The Savers, I will be reading 7 books. I'll be reading Asking It Is Given. So I have an audible version of that. I'll be reading The Love Languages, Lightworker, and The Miracle Morning, obviously published, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, and Untethered Soul. And every time I post online and I say, what books are you guys reading, whether it's in a group or I'm just asking you guys, because I always wanted to create a book club like Oprah. And there's so many books that are coming up. So I'm interested to hear what it is that you've been reading. If you have been reading, if you've been putting off reading, or if you like to listen to an audiobook like I do. So I will be doing a little review on this book. So today I was listening to Chandler Bolt and published. And so it's the book, it's called Publish, The Proven Path from a Blank Page to a Published Author. So as I write my book, I will be following his book and a couple of other things as well. And I know that some of you have said, I've got a book inside of me, and some of you have already published a book and it's not done as well as you thought, or you don't know the process. So this is one that I recommend, a book that I recommend. He actually wrote his first book in a week, I believe. He has created a system where you have 100 people as your launch team, right? Your book launch team. And in 2014, he actually made $86,000 from his first book. In 2015, he made $150,000 from his book. So he turned his books into his business. And then he announced publicly, so this is my public announcement, to reach 100,000 single parents in spiritual business. So he announced that his business was on track to hit 1 million before the end of the year. And even though he wasn't on track at all and he didn't know how he was going to hit that goal, he actually hit the goal of 1 million in his business 3 months before he actually said it out loud. So he believes in that public accountability, which I love. He started to get featured on Insider, on podcasts, on radio, and newspapers, which I will be doing, and I'll be sharing as I'm reaching out, where I'm getting featured, what I'm doing, and as I launch the telechat show and interview soul-guided YouTubers. I cannot wait to share that with you. So he hit 7 figures in his business, and I know that Chandler Bolt talks about his morning routine, and he's friends with Hal Elrod, and Hal Elrod's book is a self-published book. It's just absolutely amazing. When you actually go through a book and you actually start to implement, you actually start to apply it to your life, it makes such a difference. And so I am an implementer. There's a lot of people who then read something or watch something or listen to something, go, oh, that's nice, and then go about your day and then go into turmoil. And I think just taking the time to actually implement what you learn, even if it means reading the book slower or listening to the book slower, actually implementing it. So I will be doing that. And scribing. So I have the Soul Legacy Journal, as I mentioned, and Hal Elrod has his journal as well. I have that. I have so many books. You know, when you have so many books, I actually didn't fill out this book, and this journal. I have a few journals, and so I because I have Ellen and dyslexia, I tend to scrub things out in my journal, or I don't want it not to look pretty anymore, so I don't end up journaling. So I created my own video journal, and I wanted to share it with you. So my journal is called the Soul Legacy Journal, where I tune and track my Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency for 50 days straight, and I invite you to track your Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. So I have the journaling challenge. If you know of any single parents in spiritual business who want to attract their high paying soul clients on YouTube, then that is my mission for 2020 and my vision. And I feel like being able to say that you have the vision out loud and have that public accountability is something where you then can't shy away from the vision that you create for yourself. And, you know, you then have to follow through. And one of the biggest things for me is learning to be congruent, learning to be consistent, and actually learning to follow through. That's one of the biggest things. If you're not doing the things today to support your vision, then it's not really going to manifest, or if you're not in alignment. And so there's so much going on online. I wanted to share what I've been doing, what 2020 is holding for me, regardless of the pandemic. And obviously when I serve more, then I can step up and support more. So that is all I wanted to share for today. I don't think it went onto LinkedIn. I think I have to do something to get it onto LinkedIn. But this is me, like, not doing my hair, not doing my makeup, because I don't have access to the things that I would normally do. But hey ho, this is what it is. I am going to be back tomorrow doing my journal, holding myself accountable for my vision as a light worker, as an empath, just holding space for myself and protecting my energy. So I invite you to do the same. Let me know if you do journal, what kind of journal that you use. Let me know if you use a vision board. Let me know if the things that are manifested on your vision board. That'd be interesting for me to hear. I shall speak to you soon. Take care.